Good morning, students. My name is Teacher Peter. Thank you so much for watching this video. Okay, this is Matheum 1/1. Okay, now today's topic, we're still on Scratch. Okay, and today we will create a program, just a short program, that will tell us if a number is an odd number or it's an even number. Okay, so we'll create a program. If we put any number, it will tell us, oh, this is an odd number. And if we put another number, it will tell us, oh, this is an even number. So it will tell us if the number is odd number or it's an even number. Okay, so that's what I want us to do. After the video, please take your time and practice what you have learned. After that, take a short video, or you can take a picture, and I want you to show me what you have done and also show me your program if it's working. Okay, so you will follow the steps that I will teach, and then you will do or create that program. Okay, so excuse me, thank you so much and enjoy the lesson. Okay, it's gonna be an interesting lesson. Okay, and if you have any question, please, students, ask me. Okay, text me on the line group or group line and ask me any question you have. Okay, thank you so much. Enjoy the video.
Okay, so let's start our lesson. Now, Scratch software or Scratch program is a software that teach students how to think and solve problems in a step-by-step method. Okay, and this is the Thai definition. You can read it in Thai so that you can understand. Okay, now let's move and see what we will do today. So our objective today is to write a program that tells if a number is an odd number or an even number. Okay, so we will write a program to tell if a number is an odd number or it's an even number. But before we start, let's start by understanding what is an odd or an even number. Now, this is in Thai. If you want to read and understand more, okay. So this is what we will do today: to write a program that tells if a number is an odd number or an even number. Now, let's start by understanding what is an odd number. And an odd number is a number that is not able to be divided by 2. You cannot divide that number by 2. Okay, example is number 1, number 3, number 5, number 7. If you divide number 3 with 2, you will always get a remainder. Okay, now an even number is a number that is able to be divided by 2. Okay, and the number is like 2. So if you divide by 2, okay, and then we have 0, we have 4, 6, 8. Okay, these numbers don't have any remainder. Okay, now I want us to continue. Now let's jump in our program. Let's go straight to our program. Let's go straight to Scratch and try and create this program. Okay, now the first step you have to do is to come down here to event, and then I want you to drag this when the green flag is clicked. So when the green flag is clicked, this green flag, when you click it here, something has to happen. Okay, and what is that thing that has to happen? So the first thing we will do is, because we want to create a program that can tell if a number is an odd number or an even number. So the first thing we have to do is we have to enter a number. Okay, and for us to enter a number, we click on sensing and then drag this ask your name. Okay, so I want you to delete this ask your name and write enter any number, just like that. Okay, so you want to enter any number, and when you will enter any number, it will have to tell us if that number is an odd number or an even number. So let's try and see what we have done. So if I click on this green flag, you will see it will tell me enter any number, and then down here I will enter number 3. Okay, but you see it cannot calculate because we haven't programmed our program to do the calculation. So the second thing we do is we come down here and create a variable. Okay, so click over here and make a variable, and let me repeat it one more time. Come down here, click on this variable, and I want you to make a variable, and this variable I want you to call it num1. Standing, this means number 1. Okay, let me just write it in full. Number 1. Okay, so number 1. Okay, so click OK, and we have created a variable up here. As you can see, this is our variable over here. Number 1 is our variable. So any number that you enter, so if I say enter any number, if I enter number 1, it will be recorded here where the 0 is. So if I enter number 1, this 0 will change to number 1. If I enter number 2, this 0 will change to number 2. But for us to do that, we have to set the variable, okay? So we have to go ahead and set the variable. So click here, then set the variable to number 1. So we set this variable. If I enter number 1 here, if I enter any number, it's supposed to be recorded here. So the variable, so you set number 1 to answer the question. Okay, so you click on sensing, come down here, click on sensing, and then drag the answer, just like that. Now, if I click on this green flag, I will enter a number. So if I enter a number, I have to wait. Then I have created a variable here, which is number 1. So I will set this variable to answer the question. Now, let's see what we have done, okay? Now, if I click on this green flag, it will tell me enter any number. So I will enter, let's say, number 4. If I click enter, you see the number has been recorded up here. Okay, so this variable will accept the number that you have entered. The variable will accept the number that you have entered. Okay, so once you do that, the next thing is that you have to create a function that will say if that number is an odd number or it's an even number. And for us to do that, it's very easy. I want you to click on control and then drag if else block, just like that. Okay, then go to the operators, which is over here, and then I want you to drag on mod. Mod is used for dividing. Okay, so this is used to divide. Okay, to divide a number. Then after that, I want you to drag this equal sign, this one over here, just like that. Okay, so take this mod and put it inside the equal sign. Okay, then take this block and put it inside there. Okay, so I'll repeat it one more time. So click on the operators, okay, click on the operators, select mod, where's mod, and mod is used for dividing a number, meaning modulate, it stands for modulate. Then drag the equal sign, take this mod, put it inside the equal sign, drag the whole block and put it inside the if-then block. Okay, then after that, in the first box here, I want you to insert the variable number 1, just like that. So this means if I click on the green flag, I will enter a number and I have to wait. Then after that, I will set this number to answer the question. Okay, now then after that, I will ask myself, if number 1, the number we have entered here, if this number that we have entered here, okay, is divisible by 2. So you write 2 there, okay? Because we said even number or an odd number is a number that has to be divided by 2. So we have to divide by 2, okay? You have to divide this number you have entered. Let's say you enter number 4. You have to divide it by 2. Okay. Now, if you divide it by 2 and you get the answer, if you don't get the remainder, if you divide it by 2 and the remainder is 0, okay. So if you take this number and divide it by 2 and it has no remainder, so that means the remainder is 0, then this means that this number is an even number, right? Because we said an even number is a number that can be divided by 2, okay, and has no remainder. So come here and say, oops, sorry, just a minute. So come down here and I want you to say, click on this say and put it inside there, and then drag this say and put it inside here. So if this number can be divided by 2 and there is no remainder, that means the remainder is 0, okay, then this means this is an even number, just like that. But if you divide this number by 2 and you get a remainder, let's say the remainder is 1, then this is an odd number. Okay? Remember we said here that an odd number is a number that is not able to be divided by 2. So if you divide this number, it cannot be divided by 2. Okay, you'll always have a remainder. So if you divide 3 by 2, you'll have a remainder of 1. Okay, so that means that the number, if it cannot be divided by 2, that means the number is an odd number. Then an even number is a number that if you divide it by 2, there is no remainder. Okay, so that's what we are doing here. So here, that means if this number that you have entered can be divided by 2, okay, and then you don't have any remainder, that means the number is an even number. But if you take this number and divide it by 2 and you get a remainder, okay, if it remains something, then that means this is an odd number. Okay, so let's try this program of ours. So let's start. Okay. So let me enter number 5. Okay, and when I click enter, the number 5 will be recorded here, and then it will tell me this is an odd number. Okay, so that means this number cannot be divided by 2. So let's try it again. Let's enter what number? Let's enter number 20. Let's see 20. Then click enter. You see, this is an even number. Okay, so let's click the next number. Let's enter number 0 and then click enter. Okay, click enter. Okay, 0 is not a number, so let's enter number 1 and then click enter. You see it will tell us this is an odd number. Okay, if you go ahead and press and enter number 2, it will tell us this is an even number. So that's how this program works. Now let me repeat it one more time. When the green flag is clicked, if you click this flag, it will tell you enter any number. So you enter, let's say, number 2. Okay, and then this number 2 will be recorded up here in the variable number 2. Then after it has been recorded, okay, it will give you an answer. And then answer is, if the number that you have entered can be divided by 2, then that means this is an even number. But if this number cannot be divided by 2, the program has to say this is an odd number. And that's what we have done here. Okay, students? Now, if you have any question, and I mean any question, okay, please text me so that I can be able to explain to you. Now, what I want you to do is, I want you to go ahead and practice creating this program, okay? Do it on your computer. Take a picture of what you have done and send it to me. You can take a picture or you can take a video, okay, showing me if the program is working, okay? So thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.